You know, if you really want to get a handle on Saudi Arabia, you've got to start in one place, the desert. This huge, tough landscape, it's really the crucible that shaped its culture, its people, and yeah, eventually, its incredible wealth.
Just take a look at this. It's like an endless ocean of sand carved by the wind and just baked by the sun. This isn't just a pretty picture. It's an extreme environment. Honestly, one of the most challenging places to live on the entire planet.
So when you see a place like this, so extreme, with so little water, the first question that pops into your head is, how on earth does anything actually survive out here?
And that leads to an even bigger, kind of mind-blowing question. How did this vast, seemingly empty land become the foundation for one of the richest, most powerful countries in the world? Well, that's the incredible story we're going to dig into.
All right, let's dive into our first section, a world of sand. To really get the story of Saudi Arabia, we first have to appreciate the massive scale of this place, a place where the desert is truly king.
So let's start with the basics. What is a desert? Well, it's defined by what it doesn't have, much rain or many plants. At its core, it's a place that's fundamentally deeply dry.
And these aren't just little patches of sand either. Deserts are a huge feature of our planet. They cover about a fifth of all the land on Earth. So yeah, they're a pretty big deal.
Okay, let's zoom in. We're focused on the Arabian Desert, which is one of the largest in the world. And right at its heart is this gigantic, continuous sea of sand called the Rub al-Khali. And that name, it literally translates to the empty quarter. Gives you a pretty good idea of what it's like, right?
Now, what makes the desert so brutal is this insane temperature swing. During the day, with no clouds to offer any shade, temperatures can skyrocket past 50 degrees Celsius. But at night, all that heat just vanishes into space, and it can get cold enough to freeze. This constant cycle of baking and freezing is literally what has shattered rocks into sand for thousands and thousands of years.
So, our second section, survival of the adapted. Given those crazy conditions, how does life even manage to hang on? Well, as we're about to see, it's all about adaptation. Life, as they say, finds a way.
And the undisputed champion of desert survival? No contest. It's the camel. This isn't just an animal that happens to live in the desert. It feels like it was perfectly engineered for the desert.
I mean, every part of this animal is a brilliant piece of design. It has transparent eyelids that act like built-in goggles during a sandstorm. Its feet are wide and padded so it doesn't sink in the sand. And that famous hump? It's not for water. It's a big lump of fat that stores energy. It's a perfect survival machine.
Of course, the camel isn't the only one out there. Other animals have their own tricks. Gazelles and foxes are built for speed, able to cover huge distances to find food. And a lot of others, like snakes and scorpions, are smart enough to just burrow underground and wait out the brutal daytime heat, only coming out to hunt in the cool of the night.
Part 3, people of the desert. Okay, so we've seen how animals adapt, but what about us? How did this environment shape the human story? Well, in this one land, two very different worlds took shape.
The desert basically gave people two choices. You either had to keep moving, becoming a wanderer to find the resources you needed to live, or you had to find one of the rare spots where those resources were concentrated and become a settler.
So you ended up with this amazing contrast. On one hand, you have the nomadic Bedouins. They became masters of the desert, always on the move with their herds. That kind of life teaches you to be tough, fiercely independent, but also incredibly hospitable, because you never knew when you'd need to rely on a stranger. And on the other hand, you had settled communities that grew up around oases, these little miracles in the desert, where water from underground makes farming possible.
Now for Section 4, the Age of Oil. For centuries, life on the peninsula was defined by those two lifestyles, the wanderer and the settler. But then, in the 20th century, a discovery was made that would completely change the game.
The year is 1937. Deep, deep beneath the sands that had shaped a culture of survival for thousands of years, they found something.
And what they found was oil. And not just a little bit, we're talking unimaginable amounts of it. People started calling it liquid gold. And honestly, that's not an exaggeration. It was a resource that would go on to reshape the entire world. The effect was just total and immediate. It was like flipping a switch. The discovery of oil transformed Saudi Arabia from a kingdom defined by its harsh, dry landscape into one of the wealthiest nations on earth. And it felt like it happened overnight.
And that brings us to our final section, Kingdom of Contrasts. This is the modern kingdom of Saudi Arabia,
a nation that is just built on these fascinating, powerful contrasts.
All that liquid gold paid for a mind-boggling transformation. It built gleaming, modern cities with massive skyscrapers, state-of-the-art hospitals, and huge international airports that connected the kingdom to the entire globe. But here's the really incredible part. All that super modern stuff exists right next to the two things that have always defined this land. The vast, timeless desert, which is a constant reminder of the toughness that was forged there, and the ancient traditions of faith that are still the absolute center of the nation's identity.
So when you look at the modern kingdom, it really stands on four key pillars. You've got the political capital, Riyadh. You have the big, bustling port and commercial center, Jeddah. But right at its heart are the spiritual centers of the entire Islamic world, the holy cities of Mecca and Medina. And the glue holding it all together is the Arabic language.
So think about it. You've got a nation literally born from the sand, completely remade by oil, but still holding tight to a deep ancient faith. It's a remarkable story of adaptation and transformation, and it just leaves you with one big question.